1. What is the primary purpose of hazmat placards? A. To advertise the cargo. B. To identify hazardous loads. C. To display driver details. D. To track shipment costs. 2. When must a vehicle display hazmat placards? A. Only on highways. B. When carrying hazardous material. C. Only when loaded at night. D. Only in certain states. 3. Which color is commonly used for flammable liquid placards? A. Blue. B. Red. C. Green. D. White. 4. What does the number 2 on a placard indicate? A. Flammable liquid. B. Gas. C. Poisonous material. D. Explosives. 5. What must be done if a placard becomes damaged or unreadable? A. Remove all placards. B. Replace it immediately. C. Paint over it. D. Ignore it. 6. Which hazard class is represented by a yellow placard with oxidizer? A. Class 3. B. Class 5. C. Class 7. D. Class 9. 7. Where should placards be displayed on a vehicle? A. On the front bumper only. B. On all 4 sides. C. Inside the cab. D. Only at the rear. 8. What does a white placard with a skull and crossbones represent? A. Corrosive substances. B. Poisonous material. C. Explosives. D. Non-hazardous goods. 9. How many placards are required on a tractor-trailer hauling hazmat? A. 1. B. 2. C. 3. D. 4. 10. Which agency regulates hazmat placards and labels? A. DMV. B. OSHA. C. DOT. D. EPA. 11. What is the minimum size of a DOT hazmat placard? A. 5 inches. B. 7 inches. C. 10 inches. D. 12 inches. 12. What shape are hazmat placards required to be? A. Circle. B. Triangle. C. Diamond. D. Square. 13. Which class of hazardous materials is indicated by a green placard? A. Flammable gas. B. Poisonous gas. C. Non-flammable gas. D. Corrosive. 14. What information is commonly shown on a hazmat placard? A. Hazard class number. B. Driver name. C. Vehicle registration. D. Truck weight. 15. What should a driver do if a placard falls off during transit? A. Continue the trip. B. Call dispatch and stop until replaced. C. Write hazard info on paper. D. Ignore it. 16. Which hazard class uses an orange placard? A. Explosives. B. Radioactive. C. Poison. D. Corrosive. 17. What does a red and white striped placard indicate? A. Flammable gas. B. Flammable solid. C. Toxic substances. D. Radioactive material. 18. Which material would require a corrosive placard? A. Gasoline. B. Acid. C. Helium. D. Oxygen. 19. What number is displayed on an explosives placard? A. 2. B. 3. C. 1. D. 5. 20. What does a radioactive placard look like? A. Yellow with black trefoil. B. Red with white lines. C. Green with flame symbol. D. White with skull symbol. 21. What is the minimum distance from the road a placard must be visible? A. 20 feet. B. 50 feet. C. 100 feet. D. 200 feet. 22. Which placard is used for flammable gas? A. Green. B. Red. C. Blue. D. White. 23. What is the hazard class for toxic substances? A. Class 4. B. Class 6. C. Class 7. D. Class 9. 24. Which type of hazard is identified by a blue placard? A. Water reactive. B. Health hazard. C. Corrosive. D. Non-hazardous. 25. What should a driver inspect before starting a hazmat trip? A. Tire pressure. B. Placard placement. C. Radio volume. D. Driver seat. 26. How many hazard classes are defined by the DOT? A. 6. B. 7. C. 8. D. 9. 27. Which hazard class is used for compressed gas? A. Class 1. B. Class 2. C. Class 4. D. Class 7. 28. What does a black and white placard indicate? A. Non-flammable gas. B. Corrosive. C. Health hazard. D. Explosives. 29. What does a white placard with red flames indicate? A. Flammable liquid. B. Oxidizer. C. Radioactive. D. Poisonous gas. 30. Which placard is needed for transporting explosives? A. Red. B. Orange. C. White. D. Blue. 31. What is required if a shipment involves multiple hazard classes? A. Only one placard. B. Placard for each class. C. Placard for highest hazard. D. No placard needed. 32. When should placards be checked during a trip? A. At start only. B. At every stop. C. At the end of the day. D. Never. 33. What hazard class does the number 8 represent? A. Explosives. B. Flammable liquid. C. Corrosive. D. Radioactive. 34. What is the shape of labels for smaller containers? A. Square on point. B. Circle. C. Triangle. D. Rectangle. 35. What color represents health hazards in NFPA labeling? Blue. B. Red. C. Yellow. D. White. 36. What is the minimum weight of hazmat requiring a placard? A. 10 pounds. B. 50 pounds. C. 1,001 pounds. D. 500 pounds. 37. What type of placard is used for radioactive materials? A. Class 5. B. Class 6. C. Class 7. D. Class 8. 38. What does the number 4 represent on a placard? A. Flammable solid. B. Gas. C. Corrosive. D. Explosives. 39. Which placard must be used for gasoline? A. Class 3 red. B. Class 4 blue. C. Class 5 yellow. D. Class 6 white. 40. What is the meaning of a white placard with black stripes? A. Miscellaneous hazard. B. Corrosive. C. Non-hazardous. D. Radioactive. 41. Which hazard classes for oxidizers? A. Class 2. B. Class 4. C. Class 5. D. Class 7. 42. What is the standard size of hazard labels on packages? A. 2 inches. B. 4 inches. C. 6 inches. D. 8 inches. 43. What does a flammable gas placard display? A. Flame symbol. B. Skull and crossbones. C. Radiation symbol. D. Corrosion symbol. 44. How should placards be attached to vehicles? A. With adhesive. B. Securely and visibly. C. Behind bumpers. D. Inside windows. 45. What color is used for oxidizing agents? A. Blue. B. Yellow. C. White. D. Green. 46. What does the hazard class 9 include? A. Explosives. B. Miscellaneous dangerous goods. C. Gases. D. Flammable liquids. 47. Which placard is used for dangerous when wet materials? A. Blue. B. Red. C. White. D. Yellow. 48. When transporting hazardous materials, placards must be A. Removed during rest stops. B. Clean and visible at all times. C. Hidden for security. D. Only displayed at loading. 49. What is the hazard class for infectious substances? A. Class 5. B. Class 6. C. Class 7. D. Class 8. 50. What does a green placard indicate? A. Poisonous gas. B. Flammable gas. C. Non-flammable gas. D. Explosives. 51. What is the safest way to approach a leaking hazmat container during unloading? A. Stand directly over it. B. Approach from upwind with PPE. C. Remove gloves. D. Approach from downwind. 52. When must a driver notify emergency services during loading? A. When there is a minor spill. B. When any uncontrolled release occurs. C. Only after unloading. D. When paperwork is missing. 53. What is the main hazard of static electricity during fuel loading? A. It slows down the process. B. It can ignite vapors. C. It reduces pressure. D. It changes fuel composition. 54. Which type of documentation must be signed after hazmat loading? A. Bill of lading or shipping papers. B. Driver license. C. Fuel receipt. D. Timesheet. 55. Which step is essential before connecting hoses for unloading liquids? A. Check hoses for cracks or damage. B. Wash the truck. C. Measure tire pressure. D. Call the dispatcher. 56. What should be done with empty hazmat containers? A. Treat them as if full. B. Dispose of them casually. C. Use them for non-hazardous goods. D. Leave them unattended. 57. Why must the driver verify seal numbers on hazmat cargo? A. To ensure shipment integrity. B. To find cargo weight. C. To calculate toll fees. D. To record fuel stops. 58. What does PP stand for? A. Personal protective equipment. B. Professional parking entrance. C. Public protection effort. D. Passenger priority entry. 59. What is the first action when arriving at a delivery site with hazardous cargo? A. Check site safety requirements. B. Unload immediately. C. Turn off all lights. D. Remove placards. 60. What is the purpose of a spill containment kit during unloading? A. To repair vehicle parts. B. To control and clean hazardous leaks. C. To store documents. D. To clean driver's hands. 61. Why is a pre-trip inspection critical before transporting hazardous materials? A. To avoid roadside inspections. B. To ensure vehicle and cargo safety. C. To reduce delivery time. D. To check for new routes. 62. Which condition requires immediate halting of loading? A. High winds near flammable vapors. B. Loud radio playing. C. Minor paperwork delay. D. Engine idling. 63. What is the correct method for handling incompatible classes during loading? A. Use designated separation distances. B. Place them together for space saving. C. Stack on top of each other. D. Ignore hazard classes. 64. What action is required if a hazard label is missing during unloading? A. Apply a correct replacement label. B. Leave it unlabeled. C. Cover with tape. D. Ask another driver for a guess. 65. Which tool ensures secure placement of cylinders during hazmat loading? A. Straps and brackets. B. Regular tape. C. Wooden blocks. D. Plastic rope. 66. Why is training required before loading hazardous materials? A. To improve driver confidence. B. To ensure compliance and safety. C. To increase driving speed. D. To reduce paperwork. 67. Which class of material requires the highest caution for temperature changes? A. Class 1 explosives. B. Class 8 corrosives. C. Class 3 flammables. D. Class 2 gases. 68. What must be done before connecting unloading hoses? A. Wear proper gloves and inspect gaskets. B. Increase engine speed. C. Shut all safety valves. D. None of the above. 69. What is the safe distance for public access during unloading of hazardous materials? A. 10 feet. B. 25 feet. C. 50 feet. D. 100 feet. 70. Why must drivers document loading and unloading times? A. For DOT compliance and traceability. B. To calculate driving hours. C. To compare with weather. D. For insurance billing. 71. What action reduces vapor buildup during liquid unloading? A. Venting and grounding. B. Increasing container pressure. C. Adding heat. D. Removing safety caps. 72. Which hazard class requires explosion-proof equipment during unloading? A. Class 1 explosives. B. Class 5 oxidizers. C. Class 7 radioactive. D. Class 9 miscellaneous. 73. How can a driver verify container pressure before unloading? A. Check gauges carefully. B. Shake the container. C. Tap with a hammer. D. Listen for sounds. 74. What should be done if emergency equipment is missing during loading? A. Stop and obtain equipment. B. Continue without it. C. Ask for verbal clearance. D. Ignore regulations. 75. What is the proper way to secure hazmat drums on a flatbed? A. Use straps and blocking. B. Lay them loose. C. Use plastic bags. D. Place them upside down. 76. Why must hazmat containers be inspected for leaks after loading? A. To prevent environmental and safety hazards. B. To fill out logbooks. C. To adjust vehicle weight. D. To check temperature. 77. What is the best method to monitor vapor levels during unloading? A. Use vapor detection instruments. B. Use personal judgment. C. Smell the air. D. Ask bystanders. 78. Why must wheel chocks be placed during both loading and unloading? A. To prevent unintentional vehicle movement. B. To increase driver comfort. C. To save brake wear. D. To block wind flow. 79. Which hazard class is most reactive when improperly handled? A. Class 1 explosives. B. Class 8 corrosives. C. Class 2 gases. D. Class 9 miscellaneous. 80. What should be checked on hoses before connecting for unloading? A. Gasket integrity and cleanliness. B. Color of hoses. C. Length of hoses. D. Manufacturer's logo. 81. What is the correct unloading sequence for mixed hazardous cargo? A. By hazard priority and compatibility. B. By customer preference only. C. By fastest unloading route. D. Random order. 82. Why should a driver remain close to the vehicle during unloading? A. To respond immediately in emergencies. B. To listen to the radio. C. To check tire pressure. D. To complete paperwork faster. 83. When must a driver refuse loading of hazardous materials? A. When packaging is damaged. B. When paperwork is complete. C. When placards are ready. D. When the weather is clear. 84. Which document contains emergency contact information for hazardous shipments? A. Shipping papers. B. Vehicle registration. C. Logbook. D. Fuel receipts. 85. What is the main function of bonding cables during loading? A. Preventing static sparks. B. Increasing unloading speed. C. Reducing noise. D. Maintaining load weight. CDL Hazmat Loading and Unloading Hazardous Materials Test. The CDL Hazmat Loading and Unloading Hazardous Materials Test assesses a driver's ability to safely load and unload hazardous materials while adhering to strict safety protocols. The test evaluates the driver's understanding of the procedures required to secure hazardous materials, including proper documentation, labeling, and the use of personal protective equipment (PPE). The test emphasizes the importance of maintaining safe distances from other vehicles and persons during loading and unloading. Drivers must also. Here are the top 5 beneficial uses of the CDL. 1. This test ensures that drivers are trained to load and unload hazardous materials correctly. Proper handling minimizes the risk of spills, leaks, or accidents, protecting both the driver and the surrounding environment. 2. Regulatory adherence. The test reinforces the need for compliance with federal and state regulations regarding hazardous materials. By following established protocols, drivers reduce the chances of penalties or legal issues related to improper loading and unloading practices. 3. Emergency preparedness. Drivers gain an understanding of the proper emergency procedures during hazardous material loading and unloading. This includes knowing what to do in case of a spill, leak, or fire, ensuring a quick and controlled response to any incidents. 4. Minimizing environmental hazards. The test focuses on methods that reduce the environmental impact of transporting hazardous materials. By ensuring safe and secure handling, drivers prevent harmful substances from contaminating land, water, or air during the loading and unloading process. 5. Improved efficiency. With a clear understanding of safe loading and unloading procedures, drivers can perform these tasks more efficiently. This reduces the time spent at stops, leading to faster deliveries while maintaining high safety standards.